Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So today I am here with my June 2021 TBR and TBW videos. So if you're unfamiliar with those, that just means to be read and to be watched. So this is where I share with you guys everything I plan to read in the upcoming month, and then we all play the letter and prompt TBW game to help determine what movies I plan to watch in the upcoming month. So this is always one of my favorite videos to film every month, probably because I get to play a game in it, which is just, it's fun for me, so I like that. But hopefully you guys enjoy these as well. And if you do, if you're liking this video, maybe give it a like down below. And if you liked more than one of my videos, maybe hit that subscribe button down there. I would really appreciate that. But with that out of the way, guys, let's not waste any more time. We're going to start with my TBR, and then I will rank my TBW picks from last month, which I did get through, fortunately. And then we will end up playing my letter and prompt game to help determine my TBW for next month. So that is that. So let's dive right in to my June 2021 TBR and TBW video. Starting with my physical TBR, I am going to keep it a little bit on the lighter side again this month. I am going to go with some graphic novels and manga though. First up is one that was on here a couple months ago, but I never got around to it yet. So I really need to get this one done because it's stalling my canon Star Wars progress, which I want to continue on because I think Aftermath is the next book I need to listen to on audiobook, the next book I need to read. So I need to do this before I can do that though. So I really want to get through this one. So this is volumes 1 through 12 of Star Wars by Jason Aaron. You can see this is like the deluxe edition book 1. So I believe this would be volume 1 and volume 2 in the trade paperback style. This one, of course, is hardcover. But yeah, so I am really excited to get to this. It just didn't happen. Honestly, I had Kill River on my TBR for either the last month or two, and it just took me a long time to get through that one, so it kind of stalled a lot of my other progress. I did get through probably about half of the manga I wanted to get through last month, but not all of it, unfortunately, and it's because Kill River just took me so long. So I'm going to toss this one back onto the TBR for this month, and I really want to prioritize it. So Star Wars, book number 1, issues 1 through 12 of Star Wars by Jason Aaron. Speaking of manga, because I've had so many things out from the library, I've let the ones I've purchased recently kind of go by the wayside, and I want to correct that because there are some I really want to read, and at the top of that priority list has to be my favorite from my manga reading vlog, if you guys caught that, which is Spy Family. So I've only read the first volume so far, but I did pick up volumes 2, 3, and 4, so that is going to be on my TBR for this month. So Spy Family Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. I cannot wait to get to these guys. I really enjoyed this series, and honestly, I'll probably end up rereading the first volume as well, just because it's been, I don't know, a month or two now since I've read it. I do remember most of it, but it was just so cute and charming. I wouldn't mind reading it again before I dove back into these, but yeah, maybe I'll start with Volume 2 and see if there's anything I'm not remembering, and then jump back to 1 if I need to. But this is a story of a kind of makeshift family. Our main character is a spy, and he is tasked with creating this fake family in order to like infiltrate somewhere, something I can't remember. It's but the person that they're trying to get to has a child in this like prestigious private school, and so they need this family to get into the school. Obviously, this is the daughter, and she has like telekinetic powers, I guess it would be, or she can read minds, I guess. And then this is the mother, who has her own secret life. She is this like assassin on the side. So it's just a crazy family, and they are just so much fun to read about. So I am really excited to continue this, and this is all that's out as of this recording this video. I think volume 5 is coming out really soon though. So yeah, need to get caught up on this because I loved the first volume so much. So Spy Family Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4 are going to be the other ones on my physical TBR. So now let's talk about my digital TBR this month. So first up is going to be something from Marvel Unlimited. So during the month of May, they had a sale for it was like $9 off, I guess. So a full year subscription to Marvel Unlimited was only $60. So I finally signed up for it, and I'm really excited to see what I get to read this year because there are just like countless comics on there and so many I want to read from the Marvel universe. So I'm really excited about that. So I figured I would put something on there on my TBR because I am excited about it and want to get to it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Craven's Last Hunt. So this is from, I believe, I was just looking it up. I want to say it's from like 1988, I believe. And this is supposed to be just one of the best Spider-Man stories out there. Craven, I don't really know anything about. On the cover, I always saw like the black suit. So I don't know what that means exactly because I'm not super familiar with the character too much. But I don't know. I'm really interested to check this one out. This is a revenge story from what I can tell. And it is going to culminate in this, ultimate showdown between Spider-Man and Craven. So I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. And I've been wanting to read it for years now. So now I'm going to do that. So Craven's Last Hunt is going to be my Marvel Unlimited pick for this month. I'm hoping to read some more on there as well, but I don't want to put those on my TBR just because I have some other things I want to get prioritized. So I'm going to keep it to that one pick from Marvel Unlimited, but I'm really excited about that one. So Craven's Last Hunt is the next one and the first one on my digital TBR. So now let's move over to the audiobooks, and the first one is one I'm actually reading right now. This is Day by Day Armageddon, written by J.L. Bourne. So this one was on sale, and I think the next one I'm talking about was on sale as well on Audible recently. Audible had this amazing sale where they had 5 days of $5 audiobooks, and each 24-hour period, new books showed up there. So there was like these were books A through Z were on sale on day 1, and then these new set of books were on sale for day 2, and so on through all 5 days. So there was always like almost 200 audiobooks each day, which is just crazy. But it was really cool to go through those. And I spent money on like every day except the last one, I think. So a ton of new audiobooks are really cheap in my collection. But I really wanted to get to this one because this is a physical book that I've owned for, I don't even know, a decade, like probably since it was relatively new. When I first started collecting books back in like 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. I was huge into zombies back then. I mean, frankly, I still like them now. So that's one of the many zombie books I had in my collection that I just never got around to. So I figured now I could do it on audiobook. So I picked it up and I'm enjoying it. It is basically like a found footage zombie novel, if you will, because it is all diary entries from our main character who was like a military man and now he is just trying to survive. There's a lot of like prepper things in here, I guess, but it's not too detailed to bog someone down if you're not into that, which is not really my thing at all, but I'm finding it really quite interesting. The characters are limited, but they are engaging enough, so I'm not completed with this one yet, but I will finish it here probably in the next few days, so this will be a really quick finish into the month of June, but looking forward to completing this one. So Day by Day Armageddon by J.L. Bourne is going to be the first audiobook I hope to finish in the month of June. And the last book on my TBR is going to be The Return by Rachel Harrison. So this was another one of those $5 deals last week from Audible, so I had to grab it. My buddy gave this one 5 stars, which is super rare for him, so I'm really looking forward to it. This one basically is like this group of friends were friends in high school, I believe. One of their group ended up vanishing, and they assumed she was dead, all except for one person. She knew she wasn't dead, and all of a sudden, turns out she was right. This person comes back. The one that was missing ends up coming back to the group, but clearly she's not the same person. So I believe this is going to be supernatural in some way, shape, or form, but I don't really know for sure. But I've heard good things. It sounds like a fun thriller story of some sort. So hopefully this one will be as good as I'm hoping it'll be. So that is going to wrap up my TBR with The Return by Rachel Harrison. So now let's jump over to ranking last month's TBW movies. So last month, I had Terror of the Tongs from the Hammer Films collection, Deadly Embrace from this double feature from Vinegar Syndrome, and then this random horror movie from the mid-2000s with See No Evil. So those were the 3 I had in my TBW. So now let's rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. Number 3 on my list is going to be the Vinegar Syndrome pick, and this was Deadly Embrace. So this was a movie that I hauled 1 year ago, last month now, and so it was May 2020, and it started with the letter D, so this was perfect thanks to that Vinegar Syndrome sale, the halfway to Black Friday sale, which is actually going on as I'm recording. I did pick up some titles, so you will see a new Vinegar Syndrome haul in the near future here, but either way, Deadly Embrace was It was kind of what I expected it to be, but there was just so much filler. There was so much like soft core action going on here, which was just so long. I mean, that's fun if you like that type of thing. And, I do, that's fine. It's just, it gets a little long every once in a while, and they definitely padded it out here. Not only that, but you have like these like fantasy sequences, which are more soft core action. So it's just a lot of that, like probably like 55% of the movie is just that. And then there is a little bit of story in there as well. This one is basically a love triangle of sorts with a bit of like obsession mixed in as well. And so it is what you expect it to be for a thriller from 1989. It is very much like a Skinamax type movie. So if you like that thing, great, you're going to love it. And I don't dislike it. It's just not something I'm probably going to revisit again anytime soon. So I thought it was all right. I gave Deadly Embrace 2 out of 5 stars. So that's going to end up at number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list is going to be the 1960s pick that started with the letter T. I ended up going with a movie from the Hammer Films Ultimate Collection, The Terror of the Tongs, which you guys can see there, 77 minutes from 1961. So this one was honestly better than I expected it to be. The big, kind of catch here, or what am I trying to say? The thing that pulls you in here is the fact that Christopher Lee is in the leading role. He does a good job. Obviously, it's something that we wouldn't see today, where it's a white man playing this Asian character, very stereotypically as well. But that aside, I thought it was a surprisingly enjoyable film. Basically, our main character's daughter ends up getting murdered by the Tong gang, and then he is essentially trying to take down the Tongs, almost single-handedly. And so it's just an action movie. It is a little bit slower than like today's action films, but I think the acting was pretty good throughout. Christopher Lee's great in this. I don't know. It was just an enjoyable film. So I ended up liking it better than I thought I would. I think I ended up giving this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. So that one is going to end up at number 2 on my list. So that means that number 1 on my list is going to be See No Evil from 2006. So the reason this is number 1, I gave this one 3 out of 5 and I gave the last one 3.5. So technically I liked the other one better, but this one is just so nostalgic for me. I will go back and watch this one again before I watch Terror of the Tongs. So just star rating aside, I did have to put this one at the top of my ranking list here. So this stars WWE's Kane, and if you were a wrestling fan in the mid-2000s, you probably know about this slasher film. It is very bloody, very brutal, and just not good by any stretch, but it's fun. It's well done for a mid-2000s slasher film. The movie starts off and it really feels like just a super low-budget indie film, and I was like, oh man, I don't remember this at all. But once we get to like the main location, so basically there's like these group of teenagers who are in like county jail, and they are trying to knock some time off of their sentence, and so they agree to do this weekend cleanup at this old abandoned hotel, which had all these bad things happen. There was a fire that ended up killing a bunch of people and blah, blah, blah. So they go there, and that's where our main character here, Jacob Goodnight is his name. That's where he resides. And so just bad things start happening to them. It is a slasher film, so you know what to expect. And because it's from 2006, it's from the torture era. So you really should know to expect a lot of blood and gore here, and it delivers that pretty well. The acting is hit or miss. I think the kids do a good enough job for what they're asked to do. Some of them are better than others, but that's just how it goes. I think Jacob Goodnight, I think Kane does a really good job in that role. He's menacing and creepy, so that's fun. There's just a lot of blood here, which is what I'm looking for when I look for a mid-2000s slasher or a torture era slasher. So I enjoyed this one enough. I did give it, like I said, 3 out of 5 stars, but hey, I probably liked it more the first time I watched it because I watched it in 2006, but whatever. That's just how it goes. But happy I did rewatch this one, and now I need to watch the sequel, which I know I need to pick up yet. I don't even think I bought it yet, but I do need to watch the sequel to this to see how it holds up compared to the first one. But yeah, so those are my TBW rankings from last month. So now let's get the cards out and the letters out. Actually, first let's talk about the rules, and then we'll get those out and we'll start playing the TBW letter and prompt game. So as we do, let's go through these as quickly as possible. The Scrabble bag contains one letter A to Z plus 2 blank tiles, which if I draw a blank, that represents any letter. I take a card from the deck of prompts, which I haven't put any back from previous months just because I want there to be new things to talk about in, upcoming videos. So I'll take a new prompt and then I have to match that letter with that prompt. The letter represents the title of the film. Other things to keep in mind is that this must be a physical media pick. If I can't find one that begins with that letter, I just move down the alphabet until I find one that fits. Unwatched films, they're encouraged, but I can rewatch something if I choose to. The letter goes back in the bag. The prompt stays out. Here it says for 1 full month, but as I mentioned, I have been keeping them out. If I do pick a letter a second time, then it represents the director's first or last name as opposed to the movie title. I draw 3 movies at least every month. If I want to draw more, I can, but I typically won't. If I don't watch a movie in that given month, I have to get rid of it unless I use a Joker card, which I did draw a Joker last month. So fortunately, I didn't need to use it, which means it can move over down the line here to next month and beyond if I need it to. So you guys can see the stack of prompts is getting smaller and smaller, which is good because that means that we get new things. So let's draw a letter here and see what we're going to start with. So the first letter is the letter C. So let's see what C has to match up with. There are so few, it's kind of hard to do the bridge on these anymore, but that's all right. This is good enough. So let's cut it one time here. Take that top card, and what do we have? Watch a foreign film. Okay, so now I need to find a foreign film that starts with the letter C. I'm probably going to look over to my Criterion collection to see if there's anything there, but let me see what I can find. All right, so the Criterion collection did come through for me, which is a good thing. So a foreign film that begins with the letter C. I am now finally going to knock off a horror classic from my list. This is the Guillermo del Toro film, Cronos. So I have never seen this film, which is probably shocking to a lot of you. This is a 1993 film that is kind of what put Del Toro on the map from how I understand it. So yeah, this is one I've owned for quite a while and I'm really excited to get to it. For those interested, this is spine number 551 from the Criterion collection. So I'm finally going to watch this one and I'm really excited about it. So Cronos from 1993 is going to be my first film on my TBW. So C is going back in the bag. If I draw that again, it is a director's first or last name, but the chances are slim. I get the letter P this time. So let's see what P is going to match up with. Okay, that looks good. We're going to cut it. That looks good. Let's see what we got. All right. I don't know why I make a noise when I do that. But anyway, this is watch a film released in the 1950s. So the letter, what was it? Letter P. Let's see if I can find a film from the 1950s that begins with the letter P. So as it tends to happen, whenever I start looking at older films for this game or foreign films in this instance, I usually have to go to the Criterion collection to help me out. And fortunately, my Criterion collection is pretty vast, so I do have a lot of options. I decided to go with Paths of Glory from 1957. This, of course, is a Stanley Kubrick classic, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. So I've not seen this one before, and so it is time. And I am happy now to say that June is the month. I will not only be watching Cronos, but I'll be knocking Paths of Glory off the list. And this one will actually help me with my media goals for the year as well. It'll be a 1950s film. So yeah, very excited to watch this one. This is spine number 538 if you're interested. And yeah, Kirk Douglas is in this, so you know it's probably going to be pretty darn good. So yeah, Cronos and now Paths of Glory. This is shaping up to be a pretty remarkable month. So Paths of Glory from 1957 is my second film on my TBW. Now let's see what film number 3 is going to be. P is back in, and let's draw probably our last letter for the day. Okay, so we have the letter W, so that makes for an interesting one. So let's see what W is going to pair up with. I was just counting them, and there's only about 15 prompts left in here. One of those, of course, is the second Joker, but yeah, so they're not too many, so we're getting toward the end. So let's pull this over here. Watch a DVD from your collection. All right, so a DVD that begins with the letter W. This one should be pretty easy. Let me go find one. So while I could have made it a Criterion Collection trifecta, because I do have White Dog on DVD from the Criterion Collection, I decided to go in the complete opposite direction. And so I am adding to my list the W that is a DVD from my collection, War of the Worlds. And this is, if you don't know, let me give you a hint. C. Thomas Howell is in it, so that should give you one hint. But this is from our buddies at The Asylum. So this is a very early Asylum film that I have yet to see, and I am super excited to watch this. I think technically this is called H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, but whatever. I put it as War of the Worlds in my collection app. I stored in the W's. It counts. So yeah, this is just a modern retelling of War of the Worlds, but done in the Asylum style. So I know this is just going to be wonderfully terrible, and I cannot wait to watch it. So yeah, that is kind of the exact opposite you can get, and probably the most opposite is what I'm trying to say. The most opposite you can get from the Criterion Collection is an Asylum film. So yeah, Peter Green, Jake Busey, C. Thomas Howell. This one is directed by David Michael Latt, who is a very established Asylum director at this point. So yeah, this is fantastic. Cannot wait to watch War of the Worlds. And this one was from 2005, it looks like. So this should be a lot of fun. All right, so there is my TBW for the month. Chronos from 1993, Paths of Glory from 57, and then War of the Worlds from 2005. 2 Criterion and an Asylum. This is a good representation of who I am as a person and as a movie lover, so I am really excited about this one, guys. Should be a lot of fun. All right, so that is my TBR and TBW for June 2021. This should be a really exciting month. Some cool movies, a couple of classics in there, and then just some graphic novels and manga that I'm really looking forward to reading. Of course, I didn't picture the audiobooks and my Craven's Last Hunt, which I'm really excited for as well. But should be a really good month of June, and the fact that the year is about to be halfway over is kind of astonishing, but hopefully you guys are making good on your media goals. I have to check in with mine, so I'll probably do that at the end of June here just to see where I stand in terms of my media goals for the year. But that is it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit that like button down below and maybe consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube as I make my march toward 1,000. And like I always say, I don't just talk books or movies. As you see, I talk books, movies, graphic novels, manga, video games, collectibles. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.